Shadow War is a game that knows what it's good at. It hones its focus into the world around Talion. It creates a playground from which you can embark on a number of quests and adventures.
Kuno Nakimuk, Husrakotagis, Slanzimiko! My black speech is a little rusty. Actually, I don't know a single word. Language is a pain in the ass, but to hazard a guess, he said you're all gonna die horribly. Yeah, my kind of bloke.
We can't talk about this game without talking about the Nemesis system. The Nemesis system, again, is brilliant. You get into these rivalries that just captivate you. For me, in particular, I got into this rivalry with Muzu, who was just a normal orc who killed me and got promoted to captain. And we just had this back and forth where I would kill him and he would come back, and then he would kill me and I would kill him, and eventually I ended up winning. But it was a good 5 hours of gameplay of me just going after this guy and him coming back after me, him ambushing me. Not only do you have these battles with him, but you feel like you get to know them. You almost feel like you know them more than the side characters in this game, Idril and all those people. It's kind of amazing what they have been able to achieve with this Nemesis system. It has revolutionized interactions between main characters and enemies forever. The rivalries grow to be even more intense once you gain the ability to shame enemies. And there is no greater example of this than my relationship with Rash. Rash was a captain that I shamed, who then ended up being deranged. After he became deranged, I defeated him again and recruited him. And while he was serving me, he died. And what happened is, after I took over the fortress, he cheated death and then betrayed me. And then, after trying to get my revenge, he killed me. And then he became this epic, fiery captain who's just a monster now, and the battle is still ongoing.
Lash.
Once you possess the ability of recruiting enemy captains, you begin to have something called siege battles, and it's a pretty nice concept. It's basically you go into opposing fortresses, potentially online fortresses as well, and you just try and take over those fortresses. It's kind of like a territory game. Like if you stamp your flag into certain areas, you take over the fortress. It's a pretty interesting concept. It's pretty good, actually. The combat system in the game is good. I mean, it's alright. It's just like it was in Shadow Mortal, really. One thing you like is the progression. You can add all these other skills, these sub-skills. So, how it works is you can purchase, not with real money, but with skill points, a skill. And in that skill, there's 3 sub-skills, and that you can pick an extra sub-skill. You can only use one at one time. And it's pretty good. They're useful, you know. You got the usual ones like Shadow Strike, You got quite a few of them. They're pretty good. And yet, despite it having all the usual progression things, like equipment design, costume design, skill points, all those things, it still feels lacking when it comes to player development and character development. Maybe that's just a byproduct of it having a terrible story, but it just feels lacking. You can't deny it. There are a couple of interesting details to it, nice little wrinkles to this game. Like, if there's a Caragor trapped in a cage, and you go near to attack Caragor, it can't actually put its paw through the guard railings and actually attack you. Also, as the story progresses, they won't just allow you to chill on Hader towers anymore. Eventually, Drakes will come and attack you so that you actually have to go down into the real world and not just observe. Okay, so we've established that Shadow War is a good game. It has some things going for it. However, it has quite a few flaws. The first thing that jumps out to you is just how graphically inferior it is to modern day games. Just in comparison to, let's say, Witcher or any other RPG game of modern times, it's clearly inferior. With Talion basically having no fall damage or having super speed, having the ability to do double jumps and do all these things, it feeds into the idea that the game is just a playground really for Talion just to do whatever he wants. He has the authority over any situation. He can run away from any battle. He can, if he's under any attack, he can just climb up to higher ground anytime he wants, and then the enemies will just, lose track of him, and all of a sudden he can just come back to them, stealth him. And it just leads me to my next point, which is the enemy AI are just not that intelligent. The orcs in this game are just dumb. You have to get used to the fact that they're not that good, the AI. So if you're doing stealth, when I initially played it, I was really being careful with it, and it would take me a little bit of time to navigate through an area. And then I just realized after a while that the AI just don't acknowledge you. You can just run by them at times, and they'll maybe glance over and they'll maybe react a little bit. They won't do anything because they'll just sprint past them. I just wish they put a little bit more effort into the AI. Just a little bit more effort, just so that you could at least, struggle through an area at times, like stealth through an area. I mean, Talion is also dreary as fuck. His dialogue throughout the game with Celebrimbor is the same stuff over and over again. So Talion will, pose a question, or Celebrimbor will pose a question, whoever, and the other character will just give like one sentence where they try and, act all badass about it. And it just gets so tiresome. It's just like, can we have any substance to this dialogue at all? I mean, at times you just want to mute it. Honestly, it's that bad.
Orcs fight each other endlessly to climb the hierarchy.
Then we shall find the ones who rise to the top. They are who we want in our army.
Finally!
The orc wishes us to chase him. We will give him his pursuit. Whatever this orc is plotting, he did not plan on us.
This world is blood and smoke and steel.
This world is ours for the taking. It is ours to set free.
The battles and the combat system are what make the game. It's the process to getting to the battles. It's the interrogating worms to get their weaknesses and trying to work out how you're going to approach them tactically. This is especially important when you're playing on Nemesis difficulty. Any difficulty under Nemesis, I feel like you're not really going to appreciate all the other aspects of the game. Because, to be honest, Nemesis at times can be a bit easy. So, any difficulty on the that, like, you could just go straight in and just defeat captains with ease. On the Nemesis, you really have to know the weaknesses, you have to know how to approach them, you have to know how to, like, whether to go stealth at the start of it, whether to maybe ride a Caragor into the battle. All these things matter. So at the start of my playthrough, I just, I turned off the PS4 in the middle of a mission, just because I just thought, I'm done playing. I just want to turn it off a little bit, and I just completely forgot how bad the saving system is. The moment I came back, I had to start the mission all over again, and I didn't realize at the time, but the reason why the saving system's like that is because the missions aren't even that long in the first place. They're all this short length. They're all at most 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So you don't even lose much, really. So I can understand why they have terrible saving systems. But can we have some longer missions, please? Just some missions with some substance to them. The game also doesn't do a good job of introducing the characters to new players. So, when you don't play a game for a while, you want to know some of these characters that people are referencing. Like, you meet a character in the game and they act like they know you, but you just don't remember who they are. I mean, the game Shadow Mordor was a long time ago. And I don't see why they don't have a proper glossary or something that you can really read that's detailed. Like most modern day games, there are some cool set pieces. Just mounting beasts, fighting drakes, all these kinds of cool stuff that all Lord of the Rings fans will love. And, it does make the story playable. But overall, you can see that Monolith Productions have not focused on the story as much. And specifically, just the mission length, the character development, things that most modern day RPGs focus on. I guess in some way it makes it different to other RPGs that's mostly an online and a combat based RPG. Now, of course, I gotta mention the bullshit microtransactions in this game. And at least you don't really have to do them. You don't really have to pay real money for anything of substance, really. They're just a nuisance. I don't even know why they're there. I mean, they're just trying to exploit you, get money off you. It's a waste of time, honestly. And they should feel bad for even incorporating it. However, it's not a major part of the game, so I'm not going to mark it down for it. But it's still worrying that exploitation is becoming the future of gaming. After all of that, I have to give this game a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 means it's a good game, and that's what it is. It's a good game. It has certain things that it's really good at. The combat system, the Nemesis system, it's all brilliant. But the story is just lacking so much. The story, the detail, it just isn't there. It's still a game worth buying. You'll get a fun 25 hours out of it. The Nemesis system, again, is brilliant. Just the rivalries alone make the game worth playing. That's the end of my review. Please like and subscribe.